What is going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And with the Habibi Bros, welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. We're live on Rumble right now. Yeah, we're not doing the intro this time because let's just say that there's a little bit of a few things in there that would be, I don't know, Jay, probably land us on the government watch list if we were not on that one or any watch list already.
We're probably on like 2 or 3 already. I mean, I'm pretty sure people heard my name at the beginning of this, and that in of itself probably put me on a list somewhere.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But yes, we're live on Rumble. We got the non-post chat happening on Locals. Thank you to all of you who tuned in and watched our Sunday episode on the on the war happening right now in Israel after Hamas brutally, savagely killed indiscriminately civilians, men, women, children. We're seeing like some of the worst details coming out of it just in the days since we did that episode. But if you haven't already, go catch that episode after the stream. We talk. It's a little bit more serious in nature. We're gonna try to unpack some of the crazier stuff that we've seen just here in the U.S. But go catch that. It's mostly peaceful terrorist attack, episode 192. Jay, how you doing, by the way?
I'm doing okay. I mean, of course, with the way this situation has happened, unfortunately, there's a lot of, because I'm Lebanese, and my dad and his side of the family are Lebanese, and I was born here in Oklahoma, but I moved to the UAE since I was about 8 or 10 years old, and they're growing up. You in that part of the world, you hear a lot of dehumanization when it comes to the Jewish people in general, not just like Israelis and people in Israel. It is Jews as a collective, and the way that they speak about them. When you go to a Sunni mosque or you go to a mosque being run by a Syrian or a Palestinian or anything, the way that they do the what we call khutbahs or
the sermons.
It just downright degrades them into a level of subhuman. So when these accounts started happening, and of course, you talk to family and everything, and it's kind of hard seeing how people can excuse this right in your face. And I can sort of understand it in a way when it comes to my family that still lives over there, when it comes to people who have been in that type of environment and just manipulated, I would like to say, from reality. Because you would talk to someone divorced from reality, yes,
for sure.
And you talk to some of these people, and they'll go, you talk about the rapes. They say, no, Hamas didn't rape anybody. Like, they say it with a straight face. Hamas didn't rape anybody. And Hamas only went and kidnapped IDF soldiers. And Hamas only killed soldiers. The event and the festival isn't real. This is all staged. And then they'll show you videos of complete CGI bullshit on helicopters being shot down. Like, it is the same level of graphics you watch in a Bollywood movie type thing, and pretend that this is actually true. Or they'll like to talk about how, like, the Torah and the Quran are predicting the end of Israel as we know it. It is absolutely wild to see, and it starts different kind of rifts you're going to have with friends and family over this type of very weirdly polarizing issue. It is so insane how hard it is for people to say, you know what, raping teenage girls and parading their bodies around and breaking their legs is is not cool, guys. That's not right. Or beheading babies.
Or beheading babies. You think it would like give them pause to be like they just move on without skipping a beat, saying like, oh yeah, this is all staged, this is all fake. Or as you just said, they find some justification for it. So we are going to go through now this is not a list stream, okay? We have the list stream happening at the end of the month. This is just how we're going to do it. However, we're probably going to release a subscriber only list of some of the worst takes that we've seen on X/Twitter so far. So if you haven't already, go ahead and make sure you hit that join button, join our locals, habibibros.locals.com. We're also going to post this on our list account. We actually finally got the subscriptions approved, so we might be posting it on there. We just haven't figured out we haven't ironed out all the wrinkles, but
yeah,
there are some really bad takes. So make sure you hit that like and thumbs up button,
it's
as
insane.
well as the join button.
You applied for subscription on the list stream like months after I applied for mine on Aslican, and I'm still under review. They haven't made.
But Jay, think of how many times you've been banned and then come back. They're having to go back and look through every single one of those accounts. That's 14 accounts they have to go through.
Yeah, well, yeah, and Elon has like maybe 2 people left over there to be able to help with the reviews. He fired everyone else, rightfully so. But the first one I really want to get into is this letter.
Can you zoom in? Can you zoom
yes.
in? No, I don't think anyone can see it.
So right here is this is the final crack in my broken heart. A joint statement from Harvard students. I could be sitting in class with these students, watching children brutally murdered, raped, kidnapped, and their mutilated bodies torn apart by a jeering crowd, and hear why it's justified. So this is a statement. It's a joint statement, and you're going to see how many groups within Harvard and organizations signed the statement. So joint statement by Harvard Palestine Solidarity Groups on the situation in Palestine. We, the undersigned student organizations, hold the Israeli regime entirely responsible for all unfolding violence. Today's events did not occur in a vacuum. For the last 2 decades, millions of Palestinians in Gaza have been forced to live in an open-air prison. Israeli officials promised to open the gates of hell, and the massacres in Gaza have already commenced. Palestinians in Gaza have no shelters for refuge and nowhere to escape. In the coming days, Palestinians will be forced to bear the full brunt of Israel's violence. Takbir. The apartheid regime is the only one to blame. Israeli violence has structured every aspect of Palestinian existence for 75 years, from systematizing land seizures to routine airstrikes, arbitrary detonations to military checkpoints, and enforced family separations to targeted killings. Palestinians have been forced to live in a state of death, both slow and sudden. Today, the Palestinian ordeal enters into uncharted territory. The coming days will require a firm stand against colonial retaliation. We call on the Harvard community to take action to stop the ongoing annihilation. So they are blaming the Israeli regime for the rape of women, for the indiscriminate murder.
No, Jay, you can't use their language by saying Israeli regime because they want you to say Israeli regime.
Oh yeah, sorry.
They're laying blame at the Israeli government and the Israeli people for what happened to them. It's victim blaming straight up.
And then here's a list of all the undersignment. And of course, they're too big of pussies to actually put their fucking names on this. And you can see, and every time I see Muslim Women's Caucus, that's the fucking most hilarious thing I could see.
Jay, women don't have cocks, okay?
They have no rights in Arab or in Palestine either. So when I see this and I see Muslims putting their names to this, it is just absolutely fucking mind-boggling that they are here, because they are so brainwashed into thinking that it is justified to rape these people under Islam. because they have this arbitrary either hadith or surah that they use to justify rapes when you conquer or you're going to fight jihad, and sex slaves.
And murdering them. It's just, Jay, I feel like we like turned the dial back 20 years, and we're now like, look, the only terrorism that Muslims won't condemn is against Jews at this point. And just the fact that you've seen so many Muslims, and again, for those of you who are not aware, Jay was raised Muslim, so was I. I still practice. Jay does not. That doesn't matter though, because we're basically viewed as Muslim by everyone.
Yes.
And so it is like, do we really have to be the fucking voice of sanity and reason, Jay, to basically say, hey, you know what? Maybe killing all of these civilians doesn't advance the Palestinian cause of sovereignty and independence, and actually screams to me that you, of all people, don't deserve it. Because what has happened since that 2005 disengagement from Gaza, Israel's disengagement from Gaza, in which they basically ceded territory back to the Palestinians, and then they held parliamentary elections, elected pretty much everyone from Hamas onto their parliament, and they have been waging attacks against Israelis and Jews ever since. I mean, the whole organization has co-opted the Palestinian government, or whatever Palestinian government exists, whatever authority that they have, which is obviously none, but the fact that they have some within their own territory is obviously troubling.
Yeah, they're just a puppet for Iran at this point. All of them are. And
Iran, and this is a funny thing. We're gonna unpack some of the other things that we've seen. We've seen stuff happening in Dearborn, Michigan. We've seen stuff happening at all these Ivy League schools. We've seen the GW and DC. Like, all of these people are such cowards. They will never specifically say this out loud on the record and basically show their face. And it's the same with Iran. Iran does all these things. They plan, they fund, they provide weaponry, and they basically just get their attack dogs to do their dirty work.
And they proudly announced that they're the ones who did this and planned this, and it's been months and years in planning. And like, listening to the words that these pieces of fucking garbage use to pretend as if there's some intellectual juggernauts talking about colonialism and decolonization and talking about 75 years. These same CRT little bitch fucks like to talk about like how indigenous people have the right to their lands. But when it comes to Jews, that's where they stop.
Yeah. It's actually, we unpacked some of the history in Israel over the last few thousand years, and it's been the home of the Jewish people pretty much since they left Egypt. I don't know what year that was, but we're in 57, 83, 57, 84. I don't remember what year in Jewish year we're in. Maybe one of the Habibi, maybe one of the Jew babies can come through and correct me. But that being said, Jay, it's not like Arabs didn't have any place to go. Palestinians didn't have. It's not like they are reliant on just one state to call their home, right? They literally could go to any other nation. They can go to Jordan. They can go to Syria. They can go to Iraq, Saudi, Egypt, even Lebanon. And yet there are evacuation zones in Gaza yet. And there's going to be a clip that I think I got of Cristiano Amanpour just spouting lies, and I cannot.
I know it's. I can't imagine people here, like American citizens, Jews, Jewish American citizens, like watching our national news organization show sympathy towards Hamas, and not only show sympathy, knowingly and willingly using their lies and propaganda against Israel and themselves to propagate and cover and justify the murder of Jews, because they once they say use these type of lies and rhetoric and all that kind of stuff about colonizing or blockades or whatever, they're just using those language for Hamas to justify the murder of Jews. Do you think any of these people who are doing it are thinking in this intellectual mind about decolonization, intellectual mind about CRT? Do you think they understand any of this fucking stuff?
Bro,
Absolutely fucking not. If there is a white liberal in there preaching this type of stuff, they would behead that person in a heartbeat. It's fucking hilarious to watch. Like over here as well, in another school, NYU Law, this was the elected president of the NYU Law School Bar Association.
Show it. Here we go. Sorry.
All right. I'm
you
sorry.
Always
so
forget to share. You share.
I
the
thought
screen,
but I forget to share the window. But this is the elected student president of the NYU Law School Bar Association. So this is a message from the president. Hi, y'all. That's how she starts it. Hi, y'all.
No.
Hi, y'all. That's how she starts it. This is right after the
NYU. Oh god.
The terrorist attack committed by Hamas, murdering indiscriminately people just enjoying a music festival. This week, I want to express first and foremost my unwavering and absolute solidarity with Palestinians. They have to say, it's amazing that they have to say this. This is how sick and how infected the academia world is. The academia world is filled with propagating hate against the United States, propagating hate against the West in general, propagating hate against the Jews, propagating hate against everything that we stand for, like Abrahamic religions, Christianity. They are there to only propagate hate. They are not there to pretend that they are saving the voiceless and the victims and the indigenous people. They are there.
What I was going to say. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you want to turn your child, for those of you who have children and are thinking about sending them off to college, if you want to turn them into a brain dead NPC liberal moron, send them to college and spend tens of thousands of dollars on it, because that's money you'll never see come. That's money you can't get back, and also you're probably better off taking a shit on that money and flushing it down the toilet.
Right. I mean, the thing is, it's like they're gonna come back and fucking hate you as if you have completely oppressed them and beat them and fucking traumatize them throughout their whole fucking life. Like, this is how bad teachers, academia, and all of that kind of stuff really is in this country. And there needs to be a purge off of all of this.
I look, I don't regret my college experience because that's where I met my wife. But apart from that, it didn't really serve a purpose other than how to become indoctrinated. I realized that, like, I didn't have much affinity to politics at all. I knew that at the time that I entered college, I was very much just anti-war because of the invasion of Iraq. This is 2005. But when I left, I was insanely more liberal than when I had come in. And look, I'm telling you, the people, the activists, the social justice activists, the people who right now are supporting and like they're expressing their unwavering, undying fealty towards Hamas and the Palestinians. Well, they say they're standing with Palestine when really they're just standing with Hamas. They're literal bullies. Like, they will use like physical violence to ensure that any dissent is squashed. And it's just like, that's very much what Hamas does.
Yeah. And that's why they haven't had an election since 2006. That's why the West Bank won't hold another election, because they're worried that Hamas would win in their election.
And also, yeah. Oh, I just wanted to say this one point. I'll let you get back to it. Being pro-Palestinian, the most pro-Palestinian position you can take is wanting to completely destroy and wipe out Hamas. That is actually benefiting the people of Palestine.
It is. It absolutely is. But
anyway, back to what you were saying.
Yes. So solidarity with Palestinians in their resistance against oppression toward liberation and self-determination. Israel bears full responsibility for this tremendous loss of life. This regime of state-sanctioned violence created the conditions that made resistance necessary. I will not condemn Palestinian resistance. Instead, I condemn the violence of apartheid. They don't even understand what these words are. They don't know what apartheid is. They don't know what it means, what they're resisting. The Palestinian resistance.
And they also don't know that it's pronounced apartheid.
What am I saying?
You're saying apartheid.
I am saying apartheid.
I mean, almost everyone I know says it apartheid, but you put a th in there.
Yeah.
It's like
I put the th in your mom.
That's like saying Hawat or Hawaii. You're saying apartheid.
This is apartheid.
Anyways, you continue on. I'm sorry. I love interrupting you, but I hate interrupting you.
No, you're good. I condemn the violence of apartheid. I condemn the violence of settler colonialism. I condemn the violence of military occupation. I condemn the violence of deposition and stolen homes. I condemn the violence of trapping thousands in an open air prison. You know what? This open air prison and genocide is fucking retarded, because since they went out of Gaza, Gaza has gone from 1 million people to like 5.5 million people. How's that genocide?
Yeah, it's genocide because they hurt their feelings.
And also mainly first cousins, by the way. That's why a lot of them are fucking retarded.
Actually, if you think about it, and okay, so my college, Jenna.
Yeah.
So I told her recently that her name in Arabic means paradise, Jannah. Okay. Now let's take this moment. Genocide, Jannah side, death of heaven.
Well, she is Italian, so I think it would be a heavenly death that she would commit. Absolutely, I do think so.
Go ahead, finish that up. Oh,
so the end thing of Rina. Yeah, no, she did. Your SBA president, Rina, Palestine will be free. Look, these people are fucking pieces of garbage. They are below, they are everything that they pretend to stand against. Nazis, hate, bigotry, all that kind of stuff goes out the window, because the people they support are no better than what the Nazis wanted to accomplish. And they don't want to think about, they only talk about 75 years ago. They don't want to talk about the history of the region, because they know they're full of shit. If they talk about the full history of the region, they know they're full of shit. And they love to go back in history.
Oh, they're complete history revisionists. They pretend that everything that is happening right now in Israel, as you just saw, completely justified because of the crimes committed by either side. Mainly, they accuse the crimes committed by the Israeli government over the last 75 years. And if you think about it, Jay, that's like, I don't know, wanting to destroy white people for the Jim Crow era, like to this day.
Well, It's not only that. What you can compare, what they're justifying is, you can compare it to Mexican cartels going into Texas, going into their homes, raping their women and killing them and parading them around the street because they're in the name of decolonization, because they owned that land before, because it used to be Mexico, or whatever the fuck. It's the same thing. You go and ask these students those questions, and they'll be like, is it okay to kill this white person? Is it okay to do this and all that? They'll say yes, because that's how sick they are. That's how sick the fucking academia is here in the United States. They're so fucking retarded. They think men can get pregnant, and then that, killing people is justified for decolonization. These people just need to be completely fucking. I don't know what to say. I mean, because we can't re-educate them. We can try.
Jay, the
we
last
can't
thing,
force educating them, but I mean, we can bully them and punch them in the face.
We honestly, at this point, I think I'm not a big fan of bullies. Okay, Jay, but I
Probably
think
because
these
you
people,
were rightfully bullied throughout your
should-
life.
Say that again.
Because you have the face of somebody who gets rightfully bullied throughout his life.
Oh yeah, but I've been bullied my entire life. Like, I don't like everyone who cyberbullies me. I still love them, but I'm a big advocate of bullying these particular people. And you can't call it genocide because we're not actually killing them. If anything, we just are rightfully making their lives a living hell because they stand with a terrorist organization that rapes underage girls, kills them, and beheads babies, and kills your grandma and kills your grandpa. And they just do it because that's they're just fighting back against the man, against the establishment.
Right. It's
Like,
the justification over it is just insane to me. And it's funny because Jewish people are the same fucking color as Palestinians and Arabs. Like, they're the same color. There's no real difference between the two.
at this point, there's very little difference. You know, Jay, it's one thing to simply be like, I support Palestinian independence and I support Palestinian sovereignty, but I'm not with this shit, to being like, I support Palestinian sovereignty and yeah, they should kill and behead more babies. Like, that is basically the line that they've crossed here. And I don't know. That's a line you can't uncross. Okay. At this point, they're too far gone. You're seeing people at Times Square. I think when we were doing our stream, Jay, on Sunday, there was a rally happening in Times Square. I think, and we got some imagery of it near the end of the episode, where there was a very brown man holding his phone up and it had the Nazi swastika on it. I don't know if you have it on hand. Maybe our fucking producer can find and pull up that image. I don't know.
Maybe he can. I don't know. I don't even know if he knows how to put images on screen, to be honest with you.
I don't know if Ben knows how to turn on a computer.
I know. He's probably not
I'm
even
actually
on there
convinced
right now.
he had a loved one in his residence come and turn the computer on and say, here you go, Ben, like, go produce the shit out of that show.
Rolled him up to it. You got this, Benny. Oh, Benny boy. But one other video I really like to get onto is over here where we see the president of ADL, Jonathan Greenblatt, coming on MSNBC and realizing who are the people that he goes and does these hits with, condemning like Republicans, or condemning fucking Joe Rogan, or condemning all this type of stuff. When the shit gets fucking real, when the shit is actually there of people who are Nazis and wanting to eradicate Jews, like, these are the people you've aligned yourself with for fucking years, pretending that they are on your side, pushing your same goal, as in protecting Jews and fighting anti-Semitism and all that kind of stuff. These are the people that you thought he was. And he's sitting there with Al fucking Sharpton.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think of that. Holy shit. Oh, like, man.
It is
that is exceptional. All right, play it. Let's watch.
Tell us, if you will, just what these last few days have been like for you, and why it's so important that you are appearing here today with the Reverend Sharp.
Well, so I will be honest and maybe a little more vulnerable than I normally would be. These have been some of the hardest days of my adult life. I don't ever remember a moment like this. I have family in Israel right now under siege and being deployed to the front lines. I have staff who can't locate their family. I have friends who are gone. And I think Ambassador Danone put it well in a context that Americans can understand. 9/11, the evil that was perpetrated here. But the scale, Jonathan, the right comparison is Nagasaki. This was like an atomic bomb. And as 40,000 people were killed in Japan when they dropped that bomb in Nagasaki, so too were the hundreds upon hundreds of people who were killed in Israel. And so while I am sad and trying to cope, I'll be honest, I am angry. I am angry with the world that allowed the dehumanization of Israelis and sanitized the terrorism of Hamas. I must say, I love this show and I love this network, but I've got to ask, who is writing the scripts? Hamas, the people who did this, they are not fighters, Jonathan. They are not militants, and I'm looking right at the camera. They are terrorists. It is a barbarian who rapes and brutalizes women, who kills children in front of their parents, and then brings them over to Gaza, who literally, we've heard all these reports, and we know these aren't just reports. These were filmed gleefully by the barbarians who committed these grotesque crimes. They filmed, for example, an elderly woman in her home in one of these towns. They burned her alive in her house because she was too infirm to take out. And, parading women, bleeding from the crotch because they were raped throughout Gaza while people hoot and holler and cheer. So look, when we say, oh, this was an escalation, it was bound to happen, I am sorry. This was a massacre that was pre-planned. This was not destined to happen. It is not normal to shoot teenagers in the back, hundreds of them. So I just think, guys, get the story right. And all these pictures of missiles or the rubble in Gaza, please talk to the Israeli mothers and fathers who lost their children. Talk to the grandchildren whose grandparents were seized as hostages. And please stop calling this a retaliation. This is a defensive measure against an organization that is committed to one thing: killing Jews, not a peaceful resolution of a conflict, but murdering Jews. And if you're wondering if I'm exaggerating, please, I beg of you, everyone watching and everyone at this network, just watch the footage.
It's crazy.
It's insane. That's insane. And honestly, at this point, people, like you said, you mentioned earlier, with having people in your life that you've interacted with saying all this stuff is a false flag. If you show them this stuff, they will not know how to comprehend it. They cannot even. It will absolutely tear fabric. I think it would give them an aneurysm because
not at all. I'm sorry, but it wouldn't. The reason why is because they'll just call him an Israeli plant. They'll just call everything he's saying is a lie, and they'll be like, "See, he doesn't want you to. He doesn't want you to see the damage that's happening in Gaza." And the thing is, he's right. Every fucking headline and every post and picture and everything you see from the Washington Post and the New York Times is nothing but Palestinians holding rubble and the aftermath of Palestinian bombings onto Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
But none of them are showcasing the dead bodies or bodies in bags, or the burnt bodies that were sent back by the hundreds. And being from uh being from Lebanon, I go on WhatsApp, I have Telegram, and all this type of stuff. The things you see on there, they would give you nightmares. I do not recommend ever anybody going out and actually looking at these things and watching these things. But there was an
I
account.
can't. It's too much for me. It's too much for
lot.
either of us because we actually have souls, Jay. Like it's not like just listening to Jonathan Greenblatt, who I actually am not that big of a fan of at all. Like I think the ADL has become a complete prop of the Democratic Party. Like this is like one of the few times where it's like, yeah, fucking get him, Jonathan. Like it's insane the type of shit that Jews have to put up with in this day and age. And no matter what, they're always going to be scapegoated, as you just said, Jay. And I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, they would literally find an excuse for anything. Even if you show them the footage.
Even, I mean, I was sitting there, I was showing them footage of a woman with blood in her pants over being violently raped. And they're laughing, saying like, "Oh, she shat herself. That's an IDF soldier that shat herself because she's scared."
Yeah, or like someone was questioning whether blood spatter in a children's room was actually spilled grape juice or some shit like that. Like not thinking that
it was
blood is not thinking that the blood spatter is like what blood, the color of blood actually looks like. That's like the lengths that these people get to.
It's exactly what it is. It's sickening. And Jonathan is probably going to sit there and realize that the Democratic Party that he's a part of support this. And
Jay, what a segue. What a segue. You got something for me?
I do.
I'm so excited.
Hold on.
I really am. I'm so excited to see what you got for me because there's been some crazy shit by our members of Congress, and you all know who I'm fucking talking about.
Yes. So
I don't even have to name them. You know, that is how, honestly, look, I mean this in the most disrespectful way imaginable. That's how you know how fucking iconic they are because I don't even have to say their names, and you know exactly who I'm talking about in this exact context. That is how reputation sticks to you. That is what happens when you don't think you don't think about people's humanity.
So we're going to go over,
or you just have a whole lot of hate in your heart.
We're going to go over a little bit on Ilhan Omar's timeline. See what she's retweeting. Breaking: Israel threatened Egypt with strikes. Any trucks carrying aid to Gaza through Rafah crossing. Retweet. The international community must immediately sound the alarm to prevent atrocities and war crimes, which an Israel with unhinged leadership can easily carry out. Retweet. Instead of the continued unconditional weapon sales and military to Israel, I urge the United States, at long last, use its diplomatic might to push for peace. Not talking about Hamas, not talking about the aid we send to Palestine, not talking about how the aid we send over there with the hundreds of millions of dollars is being used to behead Jewish babies. Not talking about any of that kind of stuff. She is here pretending that she's like, oh, the horror stories, but it's still Israelis' fault that we need to punish them. Because that's what this is. This is her saying we need to punish Israel for Hamas going and beheading Jewish babies.
And I want people to really understand what she's basically saying. When people say that there should be a ceasefire, okay? When they say there should be a ceasefire, that's basically saying one person, say, shoots another person, kills them, police come, and the family of the person that was murdered goes after the murder, or the person who shot him. But the police come in and say, no, you can't do that. That's That's illegal. And we're also going to let this guy walk. So bye-bye. That's basically what they're saying to the ceasefire. You're not going to then take action. If no one intervenes and takes action to correct an injustice, and this is a grave injustice, Jay, a grave injustice. Like the people who did this will either likely never be held accountable for their actions. And I'm not talking about just the Hamas fighters. I'm talking about their enablers and their backers. Iran, for example, Hezbollah, and basically any one of those leaders that are just instructing this shit to happen. They're likely never going to be held accountable. Maybe at least in our lifetimes, or maybe just in this life. Inshallah, they get what's coming to them in the afterlife. But it's there is no shame in basically being opposed to evil, and I can't understand, Jay, how it's so hard for so many of these people to just call it for what it is. It's really insane to me. It's like if literally all of the evidence shown to you to show that these people are evil, they still don't want to believe it. I can't. This is exactly, Jay. This is what the Quran's description of kuffar, of the unbeliever. They are deaf, dumb, and blind. Even if the truth is literally, if they literally got shot in the face with truth, what is this? Truth staring at you in the face?
Yeah, even with truth, even when truth slaps its dick across your face.
Thank you, Jay. This is why you're my. This is why your English is better than mine. It always has been.
Apartheid.
People still don't want to believe the truth.
No, they don't.
And then they cry about how there's no truth online. Like how
it's so good. It's so good. And then of course we have right here, we have, one of the most vocal pieces of fucking garbage in Congress, Rashida Tlaib. She hangs a Palestinian flag outside her office. But I mean, Palestinian flags are fine, but now
fucking way, really?
Yeah, she still has it right next to a fucking rainbow flag too, by the way. Right next to it. And let's not forget, this is the person who chanted "to the river, to the sea," and did a post note right on her map saying Palestine over Israel, and took a picture of it. These are the type of people that have been voted into office. Like they had actual adults vote for these people into office. And I mean, to have the Palestinian flag next to the fucking what's it called? Next to the LGBTQ flag, it's like having an Israeli flag next to a Nazi flag. It's fucking mind-boggling to me. And
it's
to be crystal clear, there is zero difference between the Nazi flag and the Palestinian flag as long as you are seeing these rallies being held and cheering at the deaths and wanting more deaths of Jews. There's no difference. And I have zero sympathy for any of these fucking people. And then she walks around.
Terrorists have cut off babies' heads and burned children alive. Do you support Israel's rights to defend themselves against this brutality?
We're just going to go through there.
You can't comment about Hamas terrorists chopping off babies' heads?
Fuck yeah. Keep it on this fucking
Disgusting.
whore. This fucking garbage piece of shit. She wants to pretend like she's some fucking victim. Look at her.
Look at her
You
run.
defend this shit, you bitch. Defend it. You said "to the river, to the sea." This is what that is, you fucking piece of shit.
God, she is such a cunt.
Do you condone?
And yeah, I don't care if she's
what
Muslim.
Hamas has done,
She
chopping
fucking
off babies'
sucks.
heads, burning children alive, raping women in the street?
Look, she's looking at her, pretending, trying
Yeah,
to
she
pretend
knows
like
you
it's
can hear
not
her.
true or
No
anything like that.
comment about children's heads being chopped off? Congressman, why do you have the Palestinian flag outside your office if you do not condone what Hamas terrorists have done to Israel?
Hey, good on that
Do
reporter.
Israeli lives not matter to you?
Beautiful. That's
Yeah.
honestly good for her. I mean, this is
That
what's his fucking name is supposed to be doing.
That
The
is-
little fucking Indian dude that fucking runs around every fucking tweet or every fucking thing that Trump did. He was like running around the whole fucking halls. I see zero of him going up and asking any of these DSA members, do you agree with the rally DSA did the day after it came out that they fucking burned children alive? Do you condone this? This is where you came out of. Do you support any of it? He's nowhere to be found. Zero. You know why he's nowhere to be found? Because this is the type of shit they have on CNN. No shelters, no bunkers, no safe zones.
Here, I'll expand
you
on
are witnessing right now. What has been happening all day today?
Yes, thank you for having me, Christian. A lot is happening. You are witnessing.
He's the gayest sounding Arab I've ever heard in my life.
A compounded round of escalation. So 600 Palestinians have been killed across the Gaza Strip and over 3,000.
He said 6,000. Listen.
A compounded round of escalation. So 600 Palestinians have been killed.
Oh, 600.
Across the Gaza Strip and over 3,000 are wounded. And of course, the numbers are escalating by the minute. So Israel also declared a full closure of Gaza, which means no entry of food or fuel or medicine, really compromising the humanitarian situation even more. What we witnessed is very heavy airstrikes.
See, look at that. Look at the fucking the banner. Look at the banner. They're only talking about like they're saying like including 4 toddlers killed in Israeli airstrikes in southern Gaza
by land, air, and sea, including
journalists and relatives say who's the journalist and relative
infrastructure, which really raises the fears that
we all know which journalist it is. Pause it.
And keep in mind,
they probably are at the AP, the Associated Press.
I know, in the apartment building right next to it and stuff, and there's zero pushback from her on any of this type of stuff. Zero pushback.
Well, because Jay, you don't know that Christian Amanpour, isn't she Persian? Isn't she Iranian?
She's a fucking piece of shit. That's what she is.
Isn't she? No, let me double check this because this is going to drive me nuts. I don't know. He is. All right, so she was born in London. She's British Iranian journalist.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't think someone who look, Jay, I know we're both Muslim, and it's gonna sound a little bit crazy, but I don't think anyone with ties to Iran should be reporting on how their country basically funded one of the biggest invasions of the Jewish state since 1973's Yom Kippur War.
Exactly.
This happened almost 50 years, just like 50 years in one day since the Yom Kippur War. It's insane, absolutely insane. It's almost like they did this on purpose for the 50th year of that war.
Right, and it's insane to me that she's not talking about or like interrupting him and letting him know that Israel gave hours before airstrikes telling people where to go. They told him in hours and just state how this is completely different to when Hamas gave them no warning whatsoever. They flew in like fucking pieces of shit cowards into a music festival and shot up unarmed civilians. And not only that, Israelis gave them detailed instructions on where to go and how to evacuate and where they should be going.
And Jay, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I haven't been this ashamed to be a Muslim, in quite some time. I'm talking like maybe the Paris attacks in 2015. Remember the ISIS terrorist attacks in Paris in 2015 that killed like scores of people. It was horrific. I haven't been this ashamed to be Muslim, at least in that, and probably before that would have been 9/11. But it is a low point. It is a stain on the faith, it is completely objectionable. I know, Jay, you're not no longer a Muslim, and that's fine. I have, again, the fact that Jay and I are like best buddies, even though he's not Muslim anymore, like, I don't know if it's a testament of like how Muslims, I'm not like trying to pat myself on the back, but the fact that I haven't beheaded him, it's truly
no honor killing there. Yeah, I mean, and you're Pakistani, so I know the urge is like right there. You want to do it, but then you're like, but I'm also gay. Do I hang myself and kill him? How do I honor kill this?
So just so everybody knows, like, Jay and I are legit like best buddies. It would even make your head explode to know that my wife is a Jew, a pro-Israeli Jew, and also conservative, like to boot. Like, she's not even like what anything I am used to growing up. Okay.
Oh,
like
man.
Muslim liberal, and what else? Was there anything else, Jay? Just Muslim and liberal? Oh yeah, the gay part. Yeah. So my wife, who obviously knows I'm gay, and
she just dominates you. That's what she likes. I mean, that's what it is. Just dominates
exactly.
every night, baby.
Anyways,
who's occupying that ass? Who's occupying that ass?
Delicious. No, I honestly, it is one of the saddest times I think in recent memory that I've had to associate myself with Muslims, because, and mind you, Jay, I don't go to mosque anymore. I still pray. I still, do my, du'as and zikr and all that stuff. I still observe the holy month of Ramadan, and both Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr. And I eventually want to go for Hajj one day. I don't know if I can, because Saudi Arabia probably doesn't like me either. But no, just simply having these thoughts, Jay, would probably, I mean, not just Hamas, but like, we probably could be killed in any Muslim country, or even America, for just expressing these views and having, being part of the Islamic faith. Like, I don't know what danger lies for me out there, but simply probably a lot more, since Jay and I have been saying this shit for the last few days, but also probably the last few years, if anything, because anytime Hamas does anything like this, you and I, we're not like quick to like condemn it. In fact, I think you and I probably stay out of it more than, most. But when we speak on it, and if it's like, important enough, like, we always talk about Hamas as a piece of shit, and how they've basically co-opted the Palestinians for eons, at least since 2005. And we've let it happen for so long, and we put up with it. It's just, honestly, and I'm going on a rant here, Jay, but like, it fucking sucks. I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to make it about me. This is all around. Like, my family, my in-laws are Jewish, my wife's Jewish, our children are going to be Jewish. Like, this fucking hits really hard on two different fronts that I never thought I would actually have to experience.
No, it really does. And being over there too, it like family members I have, luckily some of them I have been able to show the different perspective, pretty much show them the truth on how things are, how the media is run here, how the conflict in Israel, how it really is, what's really happening over there, and everything too. How calling it a genocide is absolute fabrication, stupid as fuck, and just all around dumb. I mean, you have these like people you think who portray themselves as smart and intellectual and all that kind of stuff, and then they degrade themselves all the way down to saying, yes, behead the Jews. I mean, how you get to that certain point is insane. And then over here, you have students at George Washington University in DC are chanting "From the river to the sea" and "Long live the Infadada." This is an explicit call for genocide against Israel and the Jewish people.
For homeland. We will never capitulate to the colonizer, and we stand firm and steadfast in our people's right to resist. We call upon all of our people and those in solidarity with us to join us in the struggle. These events have only reaffirmed what every Palestinian knows deeply, that we will see a liberated Palestine within our lifetime.
Habibi, it's not gonna happen now.
Jay, hold on, Jay. Can you pause it for 1 second?
Oh, these delusional fucks.
Aren't these the same people who decried nationalism?
Yes. You
they're
cannot
literally-
be you cannot be a proud American, but you could be a proud Palestinian that likes to behead babies.
And rape underage girls till their vaginas bleed. Jay, basically, you're telling me that these are what was the word I'm looking for?
Hypocritical pieces of donkey shit.
White nationalists.
Bum, bum, bum.
Because last I checked, weren't Arabs actually considered Caucasian?
That's what I check. That's what I check off every time I look for a job.
So these are the white nationalists you're looking for.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Habibi, I think we just had a breakthrough. Clip that shit. Clip that shit, Ben. Make sure that goes out there because holy shit, did we have a breakthrough. All of these Palestinian sympathizers and advocate or enablers of Hamas or anyone really, they're just white nationalists.
They are.
They are.
They really are. And listening to his garbage speech about resistance and our right to resist and all of this garbage talk is intellectual academia bullshit twisted around just to justify the murder and killing of Jews. Like, that is fucking what this is. That's all what this is. This is not some victim little person. This guy goes to Georgia, goes to a prominent university in the United States, has fucking shit paid for him, is probably driving around in a BMW because Arabs are predictable as shit. All of this stuff.
All of it.
And he wants to stand here and speak while, Israelis are being drafted and called up. Why doesn't he fucking take a plane ride and go to Palestine right now? Why? You think he's going to want to get rid of his fucking BMW and free school and all that kind of shit? Fuck no. He's going to sit over here and pretend like he's some fucking hot shit while he shits on Americans for being proud to be American. And calls somebody like Ted Cruz a Nazi while he's right over here standing speaking to kill and murder Jews indiscriminately.
The modern American leftists, you know how in the week prior to this, there was a couple of white liberal or leftist activists who were murdered. One guy was stabbed in Brooklyn. And he was an advocate for homeless people or something like that. But to the point where it was not, I think it was passing out sterile, basically enabling them to do more illicit drugs by having a clean needles program, as opposed to I don't know, bringing them to fucking rehab and so they don't do fucking heroin and fentanyl anymore. But peep this, Jay. There was another one. There was I think a journalist in Philadelphia who, I don't know if he was all ACAB, but he was on the defund the police, and then he was shot and killed in his home. You remember that?
I do. It was a reporter in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And then there was another journalist as well who was a Marxist who was rocking with his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The guy in Brooklyn who was stabbed.
There's two.
There's another one?
There's one in Philadelphia who was talking about defunding the police and talking about how in Philadelphia crime isn't that bad and all that kind of stuff. Got murdered in his own home. And then there's the one in Brooklyn who was walking down the street with his girlfriend who got stabbed to death. And his girlfriend, it's coming out that maybe his girlfriend's even pointing out the wrong person. So the case gets thrown out and the guy doesn't go to jail. And
Wait.
his friends are even saying the guy would have pointed out how the person stabbing him is the real victim.
That
Their
is
own friends.
basically, Jay. This is the what has happened in the last few days in a nutshell.
Right. Well, and it's also
Literally.
a showcase
They're
like
parallel.
what happened when you will die. Everybody's gonna just shit on you. How'd he die? Sitting in the shitter on a throne like a king, baby.
On a throne like a king. Yeah.
Oh man.
Jay, how do you think I would go out?
On the shitter, like if you ate too spicy of food, we know how well you can handle that shit. Especially when I come out to Florida, and how I love spicy food.
Yeah.
I might accidentally cook you something a little bit too spicy. For the Habibis who don't know, Siraj has the widest stomach for a Pakistani. It is mind-boggling to me.
It is honestly bully worthy.
It is. I mean, the shit I would eat back in the UAE, because the population in the UAE is like 80% Indian and Pakistani. So I would eat a lot of Pakistani and Indian food over there, and it is. I mean, I think that's how I was able to withstand a bunch of spicy food, and also I can probably just eat sewage water and be fine. But if
sewage water, Jay,
if white stomach over here,
that is eating ass too late, Jay.
If white stomach over here had a chicken nugget with like too much pepper in it, the guy would be shitting for a week.
Actually, I do legit think I got food poisoning like 2 years ago from Chick-fil-A. Remember that time that I got really, really sick, and I just like, but not the time that I got hospitalized. That was the year after.
Oh yeah, that was the year, man. I thought you were fucked. Like you were.
I'm so glad, Jay, that I've gone and I've finally ended the skid of 2 straight summers with food poisoning. Things are looking up, baby.
Yes, it is.
There's hope.
We're getting close to the 69-minute mark, and all of this ass talk is a good segue to Ask Me Anything. Habibis, this is the part of the stream where you can ask us any questions you have. You can ask questions about the UAE.
No, throw it back up. I just had to get rid of the ticker. There we go.
There you go.
No, it's not cut off. Ask me anything. That's right. Ask me anything, Jay. In fact, maybe, Jay, we should ask each other questions while we're waiting to hear from the Habibis to ask us stuff. So go ahead. Let's hear it. Let's hear that. Let's truth or dare.
Oh wait, actually I have an announcement to make. So Habibis, if you know that if you join our locals, you can be part of our Habibi Fantasy League. And Siraj and I played each other this week, and we had a pretty good bet on who would win. For the loser, and the loser would have to wax his chest hair. So for the Habibis to see, we're going to show you guys our chest hairs right now, so you can see what we're working with in terms of chest hair. So you can see Siraj has that really nice curly chest hair, and the loser would have the winner wax their chest live on air. And luckily for Siraj, I'll be in Florida next month. So and let me just get this on screen so we know like who I beat you with.
This is my punishment that awaits me. Notice, Jay, how I'm not even fighting it.
No, and it's funny because you knew it was going to happen like at the beginning, but it was so crazy because your team was so much better than mine. But
it is.
I had the star. I had the star
both
player.
I've had
Zach
both.
Williams.
Oh, you had Justin Jefferson. I thought I had Justin Jefferson. Yeah, you went with Zach Williams. That's Zach Wilson, Jay.
Oh, Zach Will. Sorry. So what was really funny is that we got into. So we went into the game. I was like, we were 110 to 93, and on Monday night we had Dobbs versus Reed, and it was the most retarded game I've ever seen in my life watching football. It was absolute fucking trash. It was Green Bay versus the Raiders, and it was more so like trying to watch the completion passes. It was more so watching fucking interceptions. That's how bad these two fucking people, the quarterbacks in this team, was. It was trash, so bad to watch. So when we came into it, I honestly thought it was going to be like a really closer, but we ended with me just scoring 0.90 and you 1.2 points. So it was so good. It was so good, man. I honestly thought McCaffrey was going to score like 1,000 points.
Yeah, that was real bullshit, man. And then both, and then also Devon Chain got injured. God, I hate this timeline.
And I picked up Laporta, thankfully. What's it called? Me and Spencer made a good trade. So I'm going to put in Matt Stafford for next week. He's been more consistent than anyone else. Nobody else is in the league. I just wanted to put Zach Wilson in because I thought, it was going to be a fun thing. But God, he's so trash. He's so trash. It's
and you fucking beat me with Zach Wilson of all people. God damn.
I know. It's crazy. I mean, look at your fucking. I don't know how the fuck Allen. I mean, that game he scored.
Josh Allen had the most points on
33 points.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, the most points in your thing was Josh Allen. And the funny thing is that the score was so low, but Josh Allen still made 32 points. Like, that's how good of a fucking quarterback he is for fantasy leagues. It's nuts. Two touchdown passes and one rush touchdown. And
look at my bench, Jay. Scroll down to my bench. It's not like anyone would have helped me.
Yeah, bye, questionable. And then you have nothing here.
I was doomed from the start.
You were.
So, yeah.
You were doomed from the start.
But it's okay if my chest gets waxed, Jay, because you know what? It'll at least get rid of this. As Prismage says, Siraj's chest hair looks like the North Tower with smoke coming out the top.
I still think my tweet on your chest hair is the best one. It's how you look like a trans lesbian who had top surgery.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. I really do look like a top surgery. Like, what is going on here? Jay, I don't really care. I like my dad bod.
It's also because of of the way you had your
But what? Oh god.
Your hairstyle and everything was fucking hilarious.
And the fact that I was wearing a hat, probably didn't help my case.
No, not at all. I mean, this is exactly. I mean, especially down here in California, they all have those straight fucking hats and stuff. Like I couldn't stop seeing it. Like when I saw that picture for the first time, it was good.
Jen Soms on Rumble says, "Damn it, I left the screen for 20 seconds and they're naked." What shirt I got on, Jen? Chill.
Chill. I'll put mine back on right now.
Yeah, because he's cold.
Are you gay Muslims? MSC Pews over on Rumble. He's asking, are you gay Muslims?
Oh, I know, Jen, you're not a rookie. She says, I'm not a rookie. I've just been away. So yeah, go ahead and ask us anything. We're gonna read through the chat. Oh, Rory has a good one. Let's go ahead and share his screen, share the local chat so y'all can see it. I don't know if there's a pop-out chat. No, we're gonna zoom in here. And so Rory asked, should I pull this weird looking door handle in my apartment?
Oh,
yes.
Do it. Yes.
100%. Essentially
100%. And then MCP, sorry, I'm a psychopath and mentally ill. No worries. There are no stupid questions.
No dumb questions. Okay.
No dumb Cambridge. And then Schwab, which emirate
Oh yeah, you got anal Schwab.
Anal Schwab, which emirate did outlive in Jay? What? Maybe he's asking like which emirate did I live in? I lived first was Abu Dhabi, and then I lived in Dubai.
Tyler Smith on Locals says, "How viable do you think it would be to protect the Jews by mowing them down? Oh, moving them all to the endless void."
Mowing them down. Holy shit! You
No,
turned
no,
into
sorry.
a fucking like a fucking Muslim sermon on Friday prayer in
Sorry, that is
Palestine. Holy shit!
That is the most unfortunate switch of E's and W's. Think about it.
It's so good.
All right, so for those of you who are not aware, in the Pakistani accent, the we and the W, they are switched. So
V and W.
So instead of moving, it is mooing.
Ooh.
And instead of void, it's void. Okay, so think about it. Mowing and moving. Anyways, let me finish this. How viable do you think it would be to protect the Jews by moving them all to the endless void of Ohio with Carl? I mean,
honestly, that would work out. Yeah, that would
honestly,
that would work.
No one would know to go. No one think to go look in Ohio for all the Jews, because no sane not even an insane person would want to go to Ohio.
No, absolutely not. Nobody would want to go to Ohio. And then and to be next to Carl, fuck that.
A. Crocker on Rumble says, "I thought you guys were on the right side of history when I started following you. Appreciate you both. Thanks for the shirts off." You're welcome.
You're welcome, Habibi.
In fact, when you pay us, usually Jay, someone has to pay us Rumble rant or a tip or something in order for us to put our clothes back on, because that's what being a Habibi is like. You actually pay money. It's like a reverse OnlyFans. You pay more money to have us keep our clothes on.
Yes, that's what this is.
This is.
And we have a YouTube, a Twitter question from Faye Bibi. She's going, okay, how did Jay pronounce juggernaut perfectly and then totally screw up apartheid?
Thank you, baby. That was beautiful. I'm so glad you're watching right now. I'm so glad. Master Thief, he said he has a question for you, Jay. You want to read it?
Yeah, Jay, if you could eat the ass of any fictional character, who would it be and why? So this is a very easy one. It would be Cammy from Street Fighter. Absolutely. Especially with that one piece that she wears. That.
Do you care to show us, Jay?
I would love to floss with that. And then after that happens, she can squeeze my head like a watermelon with her thighs.
President Mitch on Local says, "Is it the food or the ass eating that's making you sick?" Well, for me, it's the food, and for Jay, it's the ass eating. Wait, hold on. Why am I missing so many? Joshin says, Siraj, when babies? When babies? Like just when baby? This is Al Davis, the owner of the Raiders, that we're looking at here. It says he's currently drinking whiskey. Nice. Jay, what else we got? Anything? Any other videos you want to react to? I feel like we missed a few things.
There were a couple ones. I mean, there's one like Harvard correcting their stuff. But honestly, that was pretty much all of the different.
Really?
There's one. There's this one. Hold on, let me get it open.
Did you see any of the links I added?
No, added just now.
No, not now.
No, I'm just bringing up videos. Not
you forgot the BL. Oh, we forgot the BLM.
No, I have that here.
Yeah, no, but we forgot to talk about it.
We can talk about it.
What?
We can talk about it. Well, yeah, we can talk about it later.
No, fuck that. It's moment's gone.
Yeah. But there's this.
We're
video
literally
going around.
wrapping up the show, and then I am saying, "What did we miss?"
Right, but there's a
What
few
zoom in
things.
on this? Well, I can't see. I am blind, sir. I am most blind. I don't know. I do not know, Jay. I do not know, sir, what I am seeing here.
Fruits over at Rumble. Jay Aslikin, do you prefer hairy or smooth? When it comes to eating out on the front side, I don't really care. When it comes to the ass, I like it smooth. Jay, will you let Siraj go double or nothing for a design in Wax's chest hair after your next matchup? So there's not going to be a double or nothing because I'm going to wax my name on his chest. So it's not waxing the whole chest. You're just going to have
you're not even
J
waxing
wax.
the whole chest?
No, you're going to have J wax on your chest, and you're going to
So
have
is
that
this gonna be a
for
leather
a nice,
J?
for a nice long time until your hair grows back in. So when you're doing belly to belly missionary and your wife looks up, she's just going to see a J on your hair.
Jay, she's gonna make me shave it off so quickly.
Oh, I know. And then I'll just be like, but it was a bet. And she'll just backhand me. That's probably how that would go.
Oh, looks like we got a newbie over in the local chat. Sounder over here. Let me share my screen real quick so we can shout out to Sounder for I don't know if this is the first time you've tuned in. But welcome, Habibi. Obviously you like our stuff enough to support us on locals and join the premium local chat. Sounder says you support the licking of ass.
Absolutely.
Well, that's just the first phase, the first step towards getting a whole bite.
Right. And I'm a very big proponent on pushing bidets in every American home because it should be in every American home. It should be standard and it should be a standard way of life for everybody. Bidets don't cost that much. It's $70. Very easy to set up. Maybe I'll do once I get over to Florida, I'll do a nice step-by-step. Actually, that's a good like video to post on Twitter or something. A step-by-step on how to install a bidet when you move into your new apartment or something.
Yes. I'm seeing Chestnut Hell on Rumble saying "Bring out our king," and you all know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
In the meantime, Jay, look for another question.
Bring him out. Bring him out. Chestnut, we need the comfort of Ern. Where is he? He's coming. Ern is currently flying an F-16 over Gaza. Man, that would be absolutely fun to watch. Like that would be a nice video to do to show him flying over and doing it. Let's see questions we may have missed. Ern is coming. Ern is coming. Yes. One other perk when you sign up to our locals is that you automatically get onto a FBI watch list.
Oh, that's you, buddy.
And there is our king.
Our king.
Our king and our caliphate.
Our sheikh.
Our sheikh.
Yes, this is Ernie. It's been a hard few days. You Habibis deserve some earned time. You've earned this. Right, buddy? For those of you who don't know, Ernie is a long-haired Chihuahua.
Mm-hmm. The cutest Chihuahua ever. I mean, usually Chihuahuas just look like fucking rats.
Yeah, but as you can tell, he's a loaf of bread.
Mm-hmm.
Hobby has a question for you, Jay, in the local chat. He says, Jay, what's the wildest shit you did in Lebanon?
The wildest shit I did in Lebanon. I was in. So there's this car. There's this make of car called Peugeot, and it's and I can probably even bring it up. So Peugeot, car, small car. Oh yeah, car 103. So I think that's what it was. Yeah, this is exactly. I think this is exactly the car
You're gonna
that I
share it
was
with us?
driving.
You
Oh,
share it with the
sorry.
class.
So the craziest thing that happened with me on this. So this was the car I had in Lebanon. All right. And this was the car I would use to go up and down a mountain to go to my university. It's called the University of Bellarmine. And the thing about this mountain is that there's no railing, and it is a very small road to go both ways. And literally, you would have 2 to 6 students a year, at least when I was there, die flying off of this fucking this mountain. So the craziest shit I did was we were at a party and we were in the dorms and I needed to go down and get more alcohol basically. And I'm already like 4 or 5 drinks in. So I take this little piece of shit while it's fucking raining. It is pouring down rain. Now either this is me being drunk thinking that I'm driving faster than I was. Maybe I was only driving like 12 kilometers an hour going down the hill. But I felt like I was flying down that thing, man. Fucking drifting around it and everything with this little bitty car. And it was raining fucking hard. There was mud everywhere. And I'm like moving all over it. And luckily, I'm in this small little bitty fucking car being able to like maneuver it all down the road. And the AC wasn't working very well. So it was like fogging up the fucking windows and shit. Like the whole thing was stupid as fuck, and I did it to eat ass, and I ate that ass.
Wait, you were on your way to eating ass?
No, I was going to go get more alcohol to go
That's what I
back
thought.
up, and then I ate ass later. Yeah,
How old were you?
fuck, 22,
Oh, so this is like last year then.
22. What do you mean last year? Fuck, I wish.
Wait, Jay, you're not 22. You're not 23. Then why do you only date people your age? That's weird. Got you, sir.
You got me, sir.
For those who don't know, Jay will never escape the early 20s. Like that's just like his Goldilocks zone.
Look. I admire Leonardo DiCaprio. I think he is somebody that you can aspire to be. And I am just trying to replicate his way of life into my livelihood.
Well, that makes sense, Jay, because you're a lib just like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Bum, bum, bum. That's why I'm still in California.
I know.
Not for long.
Habibis. Well, was there anything else that happened during that story that you wanted to share with the class, Jay?
No, that was the wildest shit that happened. I mean, in Lebanon, there was also wars that popped off. There was a time that I got lost in Beirut, and I actually went through a Hezbollah section of Beirut. Got fucking lost, and I'm sitting there with a friend of mine who's also American Lebanese. So our my Arabic was very bad. It's very choppy. It had like Khaliji words in it, and Lebanese words and Egyptian words. So it wasn't like a cohesive dialect when I would speak Arabic. So I was shitting my pants when I was seeing Hezbollah, like with them wearing the fucking yellow headbands and. Oh man, it was nuts.
I mean, like, I have crazy stories from Pakistan, but like, I think the one I don't know if there's any. There were a lot of like really wild. So, like, for those who don't know, I lived in Pakistan from the time I was born in Hartford, Connecticut, and I moved to Pakistan because my dad's from Pakistan, like in Lahore. I moved there in 1995, so I was like 8 years old, 7, 8 years old, about to enter third grade. And I was there until 9/11. No coincidence, I know. It's just so happens to be that. I'm kidding. We left because of 9/11. It got too dangerous living in Pakistan. But Jay, I know that some of the weirder things that happened, like for example, being there in I think the spring of 1997, and India and Pakistan are basically detonating nuclear bombs in the desert, and they're having literal nuclear tests, and they're doing it in like a show of brinksmanship because they think that it's just like a whipping their cocks out moment, but everyone's thinking, holy shit, we might go to fucking war. That was definitely a weird time. And then the other weird time again, 9/11. After 9/11, Al Qaeda put a bounty on all Al Qaeda and the Taliban put a bounty on all American heads in Afghanistan and Pakistan. I wrote about it for the Washington Examiner back in like 2017 on the 9/11 anniversary. It wasn't like a maybe it was there. What was it? It's 18th, 17th? No, hold on, 16th. It was its sweet 16th birthday. 9/11 sweet 16.
Sweet 16th.
9/11 finally knew how to drive that year.
You can look but not touch.
Look for that. Oh my god. Jay's literally talking about grooming 9/11. Bro, where do we come up with this shit?
Oh man, right off the dome right here.
My
Right
god.
off the dome, right here.
Ernie is under the couch, like making a place for himself. Like he's like the couch is high up enough that he could walk underneath it, and like he's like nesting right now. It's hilarious. Anyways,
man.
what was and then also there's a time that I hiked in the Himalayan mountains of Pakistan, again, like outskirts. I'm not talking like fucking A2 or anything like that. Literally just the outskirts of the mountains. And you want to hear about, Jay, how bad I had it with food poisoning? You should have been on that fucking trip with me, because holy shit. On the day that we were supposed to go home, I eat breakfast. I put, go down a hill to put the dishes like in away, because obviously we can't leave them. So we have to put them back like in the truck. And then we walk back up to the campground to like, and this is outdoor camping in the Pakistani mountains. Okay. A week-long trip. I'm walking back up from putting the dishes away, and without like skipping, like not even realizing it, shit my entire pants. Just like, no, there was no, Jay, there was no, and I'm not talking about like just a little like, pebble. I'm talking like full on explosive projectile diarrhea.
Oh my god.
And I stopped and I'm like, no fucking way. And everyone's looking at me like, Siraj, are you okay? And nobody had any idea that I literally shat pretty much my entire colon out. Oh god. Anyways, yeah, that was by far. Notice how like my stories are like, your stories are like about normal stuff, about the craziest stuff. This is the craziest stuff. It's for me, it's like, somewhat normal to like having an accident to, oh my god, almost going to fucking nuclear war. Joshua says, listens to Siraj. What the fuck? Maybe the Rumble chat isn't the worst thing going on. I'm glad I could do this for you, babies. I appreciate it. Anyways, we got
Air-
anything else, Jay?
air-
We're gonna try actually on Thursday. So Thursday we're gonna try to drop a new list. But we're gonna do it for subscribers only. So at least sign up on locals, and we'll give you some more info on that. And then secondly, Jay, on Thursday we're gonna be back. I want to say for another Habibi Power Hour. This time, we might be getting Steezy back for a show.
Yes.
Well, we'll wait to see what happens. Of course,
Right.
so got to
I
confirm
know
it,
he's a
but-
Habibi favorite too.
but he's a friend. He's a friend of the Habibis. He's a Habibi of the Habibi Bros.
Yes,
Okay.
he is.
So hopefully we'll have him on. It's been a while since we had him on. We'll talk, shoot the shit, talk about all the stuff that we saw in this past week. Maybe talk about some bad list worthy takes. Maybe you'll see the list come out for subbers only. So, but thank you to Ben for getting fucking nothing together because he doesn't know how to use a computer.
Like at all.
Damn it.
I think
Fucking
honestly, thank God. I mean, we need at least like 1 or 2 points in our DEI like credit score. So this helps us a little bit.
I guess that's true. It's so funny because like Ben doesn't even he doesn't even like get offended. He just laughs at every single joke. He laughs at every single.
He goes in on it. He goes in on it, but
He loves
like
it.
harder than we do. It's great.
It's really funny. So anyways, Habibis. So we'll be here every Tuesday and Thursday night, 10 p.m. East, 7 p.m. Pacific. So tune in live on Rumble. We are doing a new thing though. And I just want to make sure I promote this. Jay, hold on. Ernie wants to get out.
Fucking dogs.
Okay. Sorry. What I was trying to say though was that if you don't know already, if you can't watch the show live, or you can't watch the show at all, we are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We're on all the different podcast apps. So go ahead and at least subscribe and leave a 5-star rating. Help us boost some of our numbers here. What was the other thing, Jay? There's something I needed to besides podcasts. Oh, YouTube. So we don't like stream live on YouTube, but we're starting to put shows on YouTube like a day later as a premiere. So if you really can't work, Rumble somehow because you're a boomer like me, Jay, and Ben. I mean, Jay, you only learned how to set up a stream like last
Yesterday,
month.
almost. No, it's not even last month. It's like fucking 2
Jay, we've
days
been
ago.
doing this for over 3.5 years, and you just found out how to set up a stream like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Yes, this is real.
Yes, it is.
No, but we're premiering them on YouTube just to see like how bannable they can be. So, I'm surprised we weren't banned with the last episode. Maybe we'll get banned with this one.
We'll find out.
Inshallah. So, Habibis, thank you all for tuning in. I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jack Kobe.
I'll see you next time on Thursday for the next Habibi Power. Peace and Mesalama.